Hello, welcome to Division 3, the Chinese Grand Prix. I'm ISRL Knight in the booth here with ISRL Carter, and pleased to present to you round 2 of the Season 4 ISRL Formula 1 Championship. And we're just getting the first cars heading out on track here for this Chinese Grand Prix. And I got a quick glimpse at the weather on Red Bull drivers, Fallen Monkeys the screen just before starting this. So all I can say is that we're going to get some rain to start the race, drying up towards the end of this Grand Prix. So it should be an interesting not qualifying, but qualifying, yes, but race as well with the variable conditions. Carter, you're in the booth here with me. Can you take us through what to expect, what we should be on the lookout for in this Chinese Grand Prix? If you're talking, I don't hear you, Carter. And I think we're not hearing Carter at the moment, so we'll just carry on. I'm not 100% sure. It might be a mic issue. Yeah, so first driver's out on track right now. We already got some people in the chat. Chris, hello, good morning. It's going to be a rainy race, yes. It should be fun. Monkey Mafia in our chat as well, with some monkey emojis to cheer on. I guess you're cheering two people on, aren't you? You're, yourself and ISRL Monkeys. And I'm saying it, I'll say it again. I know I'm not the only one saying it, but we need a Team Monkeys in Season 5. So if you guys want to partner up, maybe, that'd be cool. Estunik is going to be the first one to start setting a lap here. He was the first one out of the pits early, and we're going to see what those early times are. Of course, it's a cloudy track. The track temperatures aren't going to be as warm as they would be under the sun. They're definitely not going to be as warm and as grippy as they're going to be towards the end of the session, so expect this lap to fall quite quickly, but it's still going to be a provisional pole for a little bit, so long as he finishes it, as he is the first car to go ahead. Vito, I think Carter's mic is just muted, and either he's not here or he doesn't realize, because we can definitely hear him usually, and I don't hear him myself. Yeah, now I hear you.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be here. To answer your earlier question, though, I definitely think the rain plus this track could be an interesting combination. There's a lot of long sweeping turns to where you want to get onto the power early, forcing the rear end to step out on you. So adding rain to that can only make it worse.
And with the variable conditions, there's inevitably going to be that crossover point where it's going to be ideal for certain corners to be on the slicks and ideal for others to be on the inters. So we're going to see who can kind of gamble and take chances here as the track evolves through the race and through the session here, as I think it is going to be becoming a little bit sunnier towards the end. So we should see the track temperature rise up quite sharply. On board with ISRL X, finished 4th last week in Austria. Quite pleased with the start of his season. I was hearing him talk about it just the other day. And looking to improve, maybe snag his first podium. He had a podium last season, but that was quite early on in the season. Wasn't able to replicate that success. And looking to change that. It's a good start with that P4 in Austria. Do you think he's got what it takes here in China?
Well, you know, after seeing it's only been 5 minutes, it's hard to tell. We'll have to wait and see what his lap times are. From weekend to weekend, definitely could vary with the amount of practice or with the weather conditions. Maybe not what he's used to, so we'll just have to wait and see now. One driver I'm going to be looking at is definitely going to be Chill Mo. Definitely didn't make a lot of friends last week in Austria, but nevertheless was able to get himself at least on track into the top 5. So wanted to see how he responds after probably one of the most eventful showings of his short career.
Yeah, of course, getting involved in that incident with both of the AlphaTauris at times, and mostly Joseph Cozy, who did not mince words after the race, let his frustrations be known, and it's I'm not sure if they've entirely put that incident behind them, and so there may be yet some action between these two, especially if they qualify near each other. We're going to see that soon as Mo gets a nice toe down the straight from his teammate Aizen. So some good coordination there from the Mercedes team, working together to increase those qualifying positions. Aizen's already in 7th, and Mo slowing very much for that corner, and that's definitely going to cost him some lap time because he had such a good toe, but looks like he was almost a little bit too cautious on there, but he's gonna cross the line 132.3, and I gotta say, I think he had to have lost at least 4 or 5 tenths there on that final hairpin. So still a lot of time in the bank for Mo.
Yep, and one matchup or teammate matchup going that we touched on a lot about in Russia was the two racing points of Chris and Bumblebee. Didn't really see them get together a lot last week in Austria.
No, they were quite close to each other in Russia, as you mentioned. I think not opting to... well, they didn't qualify near each other. They didn't really see each other during the race last week. But so far this week, it's Chris who's ahead with a 130.9, getting himself up into P3.
And he's had the upper hand most of the time, but it's not like Bumblebee's been that far off either.
Yeah, and Bumblebee coming out of the pits right now as we see Welsh Maldonado cross the line P1. No, it's not a reserve driver. It's actually Rentbo 2. There's been a PSN change, so she's racing under the Welsh Maldonado gamer tag now. So back up to where she basically was all race last week.
And I mean, if you want to talk about consistency, picking up right where she left off, pretty much dominated the entire qualifying session in Austria, doing it again so far with quite a gap to Bakker, who's in 2nd.
And and Bakker, not known for his qualifying prowess, but he's definitely not bad here in qualifying. And what I am getting all lost in my details. I just want to see, there you go, fitted tires. No, best tires. That's what I want. My goodness. So yeah, everyone looking like they're setting those lap times on the softs here. Softs aren't going to last too long, so we're going to see some early pit stops if that stays the same. And F1 Richie, he's looking to another one who's had actually a name change. You see the ISRL tag getting added there. So F1 Richie looking to... He got a podium last week, got a 3rd place finish. He's looking to beat that, at least get a 2nd or a 1st, but he's got some tough competition in the way, the likes of Welsh Maldonado, and of course, how can we forget guys like Aizen, Astunik, Cozy, and even Craigo, who are going to compete they're going to compete against him for that podium, especially at a track like this. Nick Potjager, who's looked strong both in the preseason and last week in Austria, getting himself a podium as well. So it's going to be a very tough matchup for Division 3 in general, but for Cozy to follow up that performance from last season. Aizen as well, both of those guys had some incredibly strong results in Season 3, and it's going to be interesting to see how they can follow that up here. Let's see, Bumblebee's on track. He's the only one on the mediums right now. Do you think that's maybe a strategy call there from Bumblebee, or is this just an out lap? Or a banker lap?
Well, if it's a strategy call, it's definitely a risky one, at least by looking at everybody else who's not even attempted a medium try yet. So maybe going all out for it at the moment, or as you said, maybe it's just to get a feel of what they feel like, really, what the conditions have on the tires, and to see whether it's suitable for him, thinks he can go faster.
And he is cruising down the back straight right now. You see that DRS wing open, hopefully not going to get caught up in that dirty air from the Williams ahead, who is, I believe, starting their hot lap. This is CJ Butch, I think. and doesn't look like it. So Bumblebee, is he gonna make a decent lap time here on the mediums? No, goes slowest on the racetrack with 1:33.7. He's not too far off Hartman and Maverick on the mediums, but he's gonna have to set another lap no matter what here, as not getting quite the result he wanted. CJ Butch in the Williams, is he going for it? We just saw him cross the line there ahead of Bumblebee, and nice and wide there. That's a purple sector 1, but missing the apex on that hairpin. So gonna be a lap that he's playing a little bit of catch up here. Now I'm just gonna pull out our standings and whatnot, so we can walk you through that ahead of the race. But before that, though, let me know if you need another invite. I just saw you disconnect there. And yeah, so CJ Bush, another fastest sector. CJ Bush on a lap here. Well, I know he is on a lap, but is he on that kind of lap? As he exits onto the main straight there, the back straight, 107 at the DRS line, opens the rear wing up, gets that extra speed, extra horsepower from the reduced drag, and good on the hairpin. Got that one much better than earlier on in this race when he was in turn 6. And coming around the final corner here, turn 16 into the start-finish straight, and it's going to be a CJ Butch P2, so brings himself up to 5/10 of Welsh Maldonado, and we've got a Williams and a Haas on the front row. It reversed that order, actually. It's got Haas and then a Williams. Bakker still holding on to P3, but he's about to set another lap. And then Joseph Cozy, as well as he's going slow there. He's just on an out lap, I believe. Stunek on an in lap. He's P8 currently, trying to get himself a little bit further up the grid. Chilmo in the pits currently, and not anywhere close to Joseph Cozy. So I think Joseph Cozy may be breathing a little sigh of relief there. And I just think Carter's getting a little bit of internet trouble, so we'll carry on here, and hopefully we can get him in soon. Ix is on a lap as well. He's very close to his previous lap time there, but not in the green just yet, as he's closing up to the end of Sector 2. He is green now, though, gained about 3/10 on that corner, and into this turn 12, turn 13 complex onto the main straight. Very important you get a good exit here, because that speed carries on all the way through into the DRS zone and then into turn 14. So if you get a bad exit there, it's going to cost you a significant amount of time in a quali lap, and with no toe you can't catch that up. So good on the hairpin there, and across turn 16. Gets a lot of the curve, goes wide, and that's going to be an invalidation there. Pushing a little bit too hard on the exit, something he didn't really have to do because he had a good lap going. And that's going to be a redo for ISRL X. Azen is on a lap. I think Chilmo is on an out lap behind him, so there's going to be some more work there from the Mercedes coordinating for a tow down the back straight. And as Mo heads out, yeah, Azen is going to be right behind him, and there's some good teamwork. We haven't seen any other team here really coordinating this way, but good to see the Mercedes doing it. Actually, Azen is recharging his battery, so maybe not. Yeah, I think, no, opting out of that. Maybe he was unhappy with his lap, or just too far back to attempt it. But Chilmo's going to start his lap now, and is Azen going to be coming into the pits, or is he going to be going for it again? And into the pits Azen goes. So let's ride on board with Chilmo, who begins his lap. And very well, Sterling hugging that inside, and then you exit out just a little bit so you can get a better turn-in angle on turn 2 here and into turn 3. Careful on the exit here, because you are turning as you accelerate, so it's quite easy to lose the rear. But good on Mo there, not going to be doing that. tight around the apex. He's all right here. Looks like a good lap for Chilmo in the Mercedes, and it's going to be interesting to see who he can catch up. He's currently P11 with a 1:31.6. I think that's Bacher. I just saw setting a second fastest time, getting ahead of CJ Butch. But it's tight at the rear there from 8th place to 15th place. That's all separated by under a second. And even for Mo, he's only a second back from P4. So if he can get a significant chunk of time out of his lap, we're looking at a good result here in qualifying for Mo. This is going to be his last attempt, though. And down the back straight, I think he's down a little bit on the likes of CJ Butch and Welsh Maldonado, which we saw a little bit earlier at about a 1:07 at the DRS line. So I think Mo's about a second behind there. Should be able to improve his time slightly if he can nail these final corners. And good on the exit, but he's going to invalidate. And that's another one falling victim to that exit there, just taking a little bit too much curb and invalidating their lap. And Mo's going to be starting P12, it seems, which isn't a bad thing for him because his lap time that he set there was with 3-lap-old softs, and those aren't going to last very much longer in the race. Bacher, he just set his lap. I think he's going to be coming into the pits. A lot of cars on their out laps here. Fallen Monkeys, or sorry, ISRL Monkeys, I should say now, is P11. So good qualifying session from him so far with a 1:31.2. And he's not pushing right now, but I just wanted to highlight that performance there from the Red Bull driver. I think Monkey Mafia is about to start his lap. Yeah, and with a 1:32.2, he's going to have a lot of work to do to get back up through the field. And 1:30, yeah, so he doesn't beat his time there, just goes just behind it. And is he going to be pushing again, though? Is he trying to? We're going to have to wait and see. I'm not sure if he's going for it again. We'll tune in. I think he is. We'll tune in with Monkey Mafia in just a second there. CJ Butch is going for it as well. And I think Aizen is coming around, or Aizen has just finished his lap. He's in P6. Nick Potjäger just finishing, or just starting his lap. He's currently P10, looking to improve there. Of course, he had some strong results here last week. Is Mo going for it again? No, I think he might be, but he's low on ERS there, saving into the first corner. But I guess at that point, you got to try it again. He's going to go on the grass, and that's going to be a lap abandoned there for Chilled Mo. Cozy coming around here at the penultimate corner and into turn 16. No, that's going to be in the pits. Cozy's happy with that qualifying. Not going to be setting another lap. Is CJ Butch? No, that's not CJ Butch. I want Chris Nerezuro coming around the final corner, and he's going to improve his lap. He's 5/10 up on his time, and Chris Nerezuro able to get himself up into P6. That's a 1:30.8 for Chris. That's a good result there. That's Crago as well, crossing the line with a solid result, getting himself up into P4. Monkey Mafia does not improve his lap time yet again, so that second lap did not pay off. I apologize for that. CJ Butch coming around the final corner here, and he's a 1:32.2. Can he get any closer to Welsh Maldonado? He does, but only by a 10th behind her. 1:22.9 for CJ Butch. Estunik goes P4, and Estunik, that's a good qualifying result for him. Is Nick Potjäger going to go again? He is, but that's not going to be an improvement on his lap. Chris is coming around the final corner, and the order is all changing up as this track is heating up towards the final moments of qualifying. Chris not taking any curve on the exit. That's good. That's smart. Playing it safe. He goes P4. Barely edges out. Estunik there just at the end of qualifying. And I think that's it. There isn't anybody else on a lap. That's the end of qualifying here for the ISRL Division 3 Chinese Grand Prix. And that was quite the exciting end there, with quite a few guys just jumping each other and setting very fast lap times towards the end. But in the end, it's Welsh Maldonado taking her second pole position of the season. CJ Butch P2, Bacher P3, And I saw Chris starting on the second row there next to the McLaren. He's going to be quite happy with that qualifying performance. Estunic, P5 in the Alpha Tauris, and then the two Ferraris of Craigo and F1 Richie. F1 Richie has a tendency, I feel like I always see him start P7, and he's made it work before, so I'm going to trust him to make it work again, as he's starting on our fourth row of the grid with Chris Nerzuro. Azen and Cozy starting on the fifth row to round out the top 10, and Nick Potyeger, ISRL Monkeys, Chilmo, ISRL X, the Maverick, Bumblebee, Monkey Mafia, and Hartman is the rest of your order. And yeah, I do apologize. The screen's just going to cut very quickly. I'm going to see if I can get my co-commentator back in here. Alright, it looks like his internet really has dropped out, so I guess we'll carry on this way and hope that we get some good action. So I have some stuff to talk about. Checking our comments now. Let's go look at the YouTube. We have a couple drivers letting us know about the changing conditions here in the race. Hartman qualified on my waste setup plan. Oh, on my wet setup, planning for a good race though in the wet. So Hartman planning ahead there. Can Consbit do a Sundance? There's not enough room in here. But no, I do want the rain in the race, and that is rain indeed. Look at that deluge pouring down on the racetrack, and that's definitely going to be at least an Inter's start. And with heavy rain here for a significant portion of the race, maybe even some wet tires. Owen Farrell says CJ for the win. Monkey Mafia says Monkey no like China, gonna be a long day. ISRL Monkey says Monkey needs banana in front of the Red Bull for extra pace. And I think the monkeys are just having a chat here in monkey speak, so we'll let them do as we wait for the drivers to get ready for the formation lap. And yeah, Welsh Maldonado, Becca Jones in our chat saying good luck all. Good luck to you in first place there going into turn one, because that's a lot of people behind you on a very hard to brake on surface. So let's hope everybody gets through turn one clearly. Mark Gresh saying at least this time I can't bottle the last lap since I'm not in it. Well, there's always room for a sequel, Mark, so maybe another week. And as the drivers are going to head out on the formation lap here. So it is going to be, it looks like, wet weathers tires there for most people. At least that's what our Amazon pit strategy is telling us. We are going to look, yeah, and it's going to be wet tires for everybody. So I can already predict a very tentative start, very cautious start for everybody, and at least a couple of incidents here going into turn one. Maybe not some DNFs, but at least a few crashes as everybody comes to grip on this low adhesion, low grip racetrack there. Of course, with the rain falling. But it is planned to dry up here through the session, even maybe going to slicks as the sunshine's coming out towards the end of this Grand Prix. So it should be a very interesting strategy-filled race here. And just because you're in the front does not mean you're going to stay there, as I think some early pit stops are going to net a few people some points. Maybe getting the timing, the switchover just right, that you gain a few positions. Of course, safety cars are going to come and affect this as well. And so with the kind of races like these, you don't know what you're going to get until it happens. So I'm just going to hope for a great Grand Prix and a lot of action here on the racetrack. It's going to be interesting to see what the Ferraris do off the start. The only pair of teammates other than the Alfa Romeos further down the grid to start near each other. And are they going to be playing it safe here into turn one, or are they going to have a sort of an agreement that they can race here, at least at the start of this race, because both of them are in a very good position to score some points and maybe even a podium or a win here in China. So if they can stay out of each other's way, I think both of them have a good shot. But if they fight at the start of this Grand Prix, they might end up costing each other that shot. So interesting to see what they're going to opt to do. Of course, if the Racing Points get together at some point in this Grand Prix, I think we're going to see some fighting between the pink cars as well. Other than that, expect Estunik and Chris to put on a good fight, at least until Bumblebee can find his way to Chris, as Estunik looking quite eager to reverse that result from last week. He was fighting there, could have had 6th place, but got some wing damage in a battle with Chilmo and ended up dropping a few positions. So as the drivers line up, I think what we're getting, the consensus here, is that there's quite a few people with quite a few points to prove, and we're going to see if they can prove it here in China as we're getting ready for the lights out. Just waiting here for the last cars to ready up, and here we go. Just a second here. 3 lights, 4 lights on the screen. I don't think they're... Oh, they are the real lights. And actually, yeah, we are off in China. And it's a very tentative start for everybody. We're seeing a lot of wheel spin. There's a car on the grass in the back there. One of the Alfa Romeos, I think that's Maverick. Everybody's looking clean through turn 1. That's a great start from Craigo, who's already up into P4. And having a little look down the inside of Chris there into turn 2, trying to get himself up into the podium places already. But he's got Bacher for company down the inside. And now Bacher having a bit of a moment there on the exit of turn 3. And into turn 4 and turn 5 they go. We haven't lost anybody yet. No spins, no crashes here. And Bacher's going to have a move down the inside of Craigo. And that's a late one. There's contact between the two. And that's going to force Aizen to check up behind them. Estunik has had a bad start. He's dropped a few positions. But right there, he hasn't fallen too far back. And he's looking to get back by Aizen. Ix has had a good start. Getting all the way up into P8 already in the wet weather, and look at that, he's going to make it P7. No, he's not. He's going to tuck back in behind Estunik there, not really looking to make that move just yet. This track is going to dry up though, and that's when we're going to start seeing a lot of overtaking action as it's Welsh Maldonado leading CJ Butch, leading ISRL Chris here in lap 1 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Craigo and Bacher there are starting to fall a little bit back, at least Bacher is for sure, from the pack ahead as he's got a moment there coming out of turn, that long swooping right hand with all this action. I'm forgetting that it's named turn 13, but not a lot of splitstream here down the back straight. DRS is not going to be open for a long time here in these wet weather conditions, and they're going to have to make the moves work the old-fashioned way. Welsh Maldonado getting a great start already, 1.5 seconds ahead of CJ Butch. ISRL Chris is 1.1 seconds behind, and there's some changing of the positions further back as Cozy gets by Chris Narazuro, and getting a little bit of a timing glitch here, so don't worry about the positions changing too much. But it's ISRL Cozy getting himself up into P11 at the end of this first lap. And going into lap 2 here, I'm surprised not a single spin. All of these drivers doing a very good job keeping the car under control here. And no, doesn't look like there's any damage. Doesn't look like anybody has had any contact into turn 1. So great job from all of this grid to keep it clean and keep it cautious in the early laps of this Grand Prix. I think they know that it's going to change. And as I say that, actually, we get a safety car. And who is that? Just as I was talking about how we haven't lost anybody, Bumblebee has hit the barrier and brings out the safety car. And we had such a clean start. And just like that, it's the safety car out, and we're going to get a change in strategy. I don't think we're going to see any pit stops here, but it's Bumblebee out of the race, and we can say goodbye to that Racing Point battle we had dreamed of, as Bumblebee gets gets his first DNF rather of the season for Racing Point. Whew. All right, you gotta take a breather here because that was quite the start. And Cohen says, is it raining for the whole race? Cohen, it's not. It should be drying towards the end. It's heavy rain at the start, some light rain in the middle, and then some sunshine towards the end. But if that sunshine comes before the end of the Grand Prix, I don't know yet. No penalties so far, so everybody keeping it clean, and no stops. We are going to look here at the position change graphic. So our top two holding position here, Welsh Maldonado and CJ Bush, both in where they started. Chris gaining a position into P3, Craigo gaining 2 into P4, Aizen gaining 4 positions, so a great start from the Mercedes there as he gets himself into the top 5. Bacher dropping 3 to go to P6, right ahead of Astunik, who's dropped 2 positions himself into P7. Ix gaining 6 positions, and Durant 23 gaining 6 positions as well. That's one of our reserve drivers. And everybody else looks like they've pretty much lost. Hartman is up 2, but F1 Richie losing 2 positions down into P9. Cozy is held steady in P10. Chris down 3 positions to P11. Nick Potjager in P12 down 1 position. Monkeys and Shilmo both lost 2. Not the start that they were hoping for. In Maverick, we saw that was the Alfa Romeo who got on the grass very early on that start. Actually bogged down and spun the wheels, and not an ideal start for him either. And as we just let the cars under safety car here just make their laps, make their rounds, I'm going to go very quickly fill up my drink and my water bottle. And so I'm going to read some comments as I do that. But just so everybody's aware that I can't see if somebody bins it. And no, we actually don't have too many new comments here, but Kyle says I'm out, I guess. I think Kyle Hartman may be involved in an accidental collision there or something. But he is still in the running there, but albeit at the rear. Jaren says wet to dry. Yeah, we've covered this, and should be some sunshine towards the end. Alright, and it doesn't look like this rain has eased at all. And so I don't think the inters are gonna be part of the conversation just yet. But also, as predicted, no pit stops from anybody. So if the inters aren't going to be a part of the equation for a while, as shown by the fact nobody's pitting for them yet, then I don't think the safety car is going to change too much here in terms of the race strategy, and we're still going to see, I think, a mad dash towards the end as guys try to get off the wets onto the inters and subsequently potentially onto the slicks as this racetrack dries up, and should be a thrilling strategy battle here in the later laps. We still got a ways to go, 24 laps until the end of this race. Cohen saying the almighty calm's already answered. I prefer the term all-seeing eye because that's how I report people. We survey and report anybody who's misbehaving out here. Durant getting a 5-second penalty for a collision under safety car. That's not going to get removed, as he is the car behind. And there's a bit of a gap there, so wonder if something happened a little bit further behind the safety car. And is there some front wing damage there for... let's see. For Durant, I know this isn't the best angle to see, but they get closer in the braking zone, we'll be able to. And it does look like there's a little bit of front wing damage there on the on the right hand side for the Haas. So something that Monkeys is gonna have to contend with on the start. What is Potjager doing? As he's just way far back. That's caused another bit of a bottle up here. And some miss. Oh, what is happening here is, oh, now they've slowed down. There's a bit of front wing there. And there's just accidents galore as these guys are checking up there. Nick Potjager was slowing up the pack, I think, in anticipation of the safety car coming in, but the rest of the pack didn't slow up that early, and it's caused two constant tuner effects, so that's going to be something to look at by the stewards. But what we can, here says, Jennifer says, P10 to P14 at a safety car glitch is possible indeed. Everybody trying to warm up their tires here as we're about to get back under green. The safety car is in the pits, and Welsh Maldonado is going to lead us off. Not yet, though. Just going to try to drag out this safety car queue just a little bit longer. And I think coming out of this final corner, yeah, there she goes. And try to keep the car steady here. Coming out of the final corner, she's got a good jump on CJ Bush, 1.3 seconds ahead already. And CJ Bush caught a little bit napping there as he's also getting under pressure from ISRL Chris 85. And there's quite a few people diving in the pits now, I think from that front wing damage from the checkup earlier under safety car. That's Chris Nerazzurro, Potjager, Hartman, and Durant 23, all pitting under this restart. Now, as Welsh Maldonado dips off into the distance, I think that's Bacher who's going to drop some more positions as ISRL Estunik is back up into P7. That's a bad start for the McLaren driver who's already down into P9 after qualifying in P3. And these cars spreading out a little bit already under these wet conditions. You don't want to be following a car ahead too closely here in the wet, as there's a bit of a moment there from Ix as we saw that tail end kind of stepping out, but he keeps it under control as he cools off the tires there just off the racing line. And careful on the acceleration through here. It's quite easy to lose it, but so far these guys are doing a wonderful job keeping the cars under control, and Ix is doing a wonderful job keeping that Alfa Romeo getting up into the lead I'm having trouble speaking today, into the front of the pack as he's in P6 already, but you see that rear end squirming as he sets the throttle down into turn 13, and it's going to cost him a little bit of time there to the guys ahead as look at how far they got down this straightaway. Another reason you don't really want to be super close there unless you are going for the move is that you get a lot of spray in these wet conditions. And as we go on board though, yeah, I was going to say, looks like this rain is dying down. And as there's somebody who's just had a crash there under on Sector 2. We're going to be on board with Azen. That's what I thought. Azen is going on the inter, so a couple cars here calling the shots there, moving on to the intermediate tire. And let's pull up our tire graphics so we can see exactly who that is. But as there's been a couple of spins here under green flag racing towards the back of the field, that's Chris Nerazzurro and Durant both having issues there further back in the grid, and there's going to be some intermediate tires on Azen. So, and there's a safety car, and oh my goodness, and it has this just played perfectly into the hands of Azen, Ix, and Estunik, and Chill Mo as well as in there. Monkey's in the pit for the inters, and now as everybody's going to have to go safety car speeds basically. Are they going to be able to get ahead in the pit stops, or are they going to lose out from the safety car coming out? We're going to have to wait and see there, because if that safety car came out after they had gone back to green flag racing, I think they might have come out super far ahead here, winners with this strategy. But now, is everybody else going to get a free pit stop onto the inters? Go on board with Welsh Maldonado here. She's still leading this race, now under its second safety car on lap 6. And so it's a bit of a slow start, but what this is going to allow us to do is get this rain out of the way and get more laps of dry racing, hopefully. And then we're going to see some pit stops here. And we are, as Welsh Maldonado dives into the pits, and Azen is coming out of this final corner. Now it's going to be free pit stops for everybody ahead of them. And that's just absolutely terrible timing there for those guys gambling onto the inters on that safety car restart. They couldn't have predicted another safety car so quickly, so I don't blame them for that strategy. But absolutely wretched luck, as everybody is going to get essentially a free pit stop and come out ahead of them on the inters. And a lot of guys there just costing themselves quite a few track positions gambling on that strategy, unfortunately. Fastest lap so far is Welsh Maldonado with 150.7. Azen and F1 Richie getting a drive-through, and Christner 0. Oh no, that's unfortunate. And I'm not quite sure what caused that, but Azen another race with wretched luck here, as of course finishing last race, not on the lead lap, but 2 laps down there. After an early incident around Austria, and Austria, of course, if you go a lap down, it's so hard to unlap yourself with how short that track is. Yeah, Azen's going to have to serve that after this restart, so he is probably hoping for at least another safety car here then. At least 3 of these guys are, and must have been the speeding under VSC there. And actually, I think, did Azen go in to serve his drive-through, and then the safety car came out, and it pitted him onto the inters, maybe? That would be unfortunate, but slightly humorous if that's what happened, because that safety car came out while they were in the pits, I think. Got the draft coming out of the pits. Oh no. So yeah, I guess because of that delta when you come out of the pits, it is, if you come out of the pits a little bit too heavy on the throttle, it's quite easy to pick up a very quick warning there, and another drive-through, and it's kind of a glitch in this game, and it sucks, but it's something that you have to deal with and carry on and keep racing. But I think that's the second week in a row he's picked one of those up. I think that's why he went 2 laps down last week in Austria. I could be wrong, but I feel like that might be just absolutely poor luck there from Azen to start the season, and running well in P5 too. Without that drive-through, he would have been looking very strong for a podium. So gonna be hoping for some more safety cars and some more incidents. I think we're gonna be hoping at least for another one, just for the sake of getting some of these guys back up into the fight, like F1 Richie and Azen. I think if those guys are near the front, that's gonna be a thrilling battle towards the end. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like my co-commentator is going to be able to join us back here. So you guys are going to be stuck with me and me alone, and you're going to like it. You got that? So, yeah, we have 20 laps to go here. Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, still rain. I did not receive, but I stumbled across a conversation of some drivers in this race, and there's been a couple of incidents in qualifying that we didn't get on stream, but that definitely made a couple of people quite mad, because there's gonna be some incidents getting reported shortly. I was just having a giggle at their conversation. Bonelly says, should have streamed the back. The first 2 laps wasn't as clean as you think. Well, I meant more clean in the sense that nobody crashed themselves out in turn 1. But it's a wet race, and there's going to be a lot of wiggling around, and inadvertently it's going to be a little bit not dirtier, but more eventful than a dry race. Just even just with small things like the spray coming off the cars and the reduced visibility, the reduced grip. It's just a risk that you get running in the wet weather, and I'm sure that there might have been a few incidents in the back that we missed on the stream there, but it didn't look too bad there, at least from our point of view. But of course, as usual, guys, if you're a driver and you're watching this, if you've had an incident, don't forget to just report it with the incident report form in our ISRL stats server. And as for under safety car, I suppose it's time to do that. All that good old guys. Thank you for watching, and please like on and subscribe on everything stuff. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button. We're going to be live here. We're live basically every Sunday, of course, with Division 3, Division 2, and Division 1 racing back to back to back. We have some races on Wednesdays and Fridays as well, and potentially some more good stuff to come, some more streams. Make sure to like us on all our social media too. We have some good, sweet graphics that we post about every Grand Prix and ahead of every weekend, and just to hype everybody up. And it's good fun. You can join our Discord as well if you're interested in the league. If you're watching and you don't have a seat, I think the link is in the description. If not, it's widely available on our website and elsewhere. So if you're interested in here, guys, just make sure to like us and support us everywhere. We have merch as well available in the description, thanks to IMB Racewear. So thank you for their support, giving us some very cool, super high quality custom merchandise. You can get your own driver number on them. They feel so comfy, they feel amazing, and cannot stop recommending them. But I think that's enough plugging, because we got some racing to do. Welsh Maldonado queuing the field up as the safety car comes back in the pits, and we're about to go back under green here. Jordan says, I heard those ISRL hoodies are comfortable. Jordan, comfortable doesn't begin to describe those hoodies, okay? You don't, not only are they not the most comfortable hoodie I've had in years, they look so nice, and I got my number and I got my name on there, and it's a great way to support the league. So be cool like Jordan, be cool like me, and get your ISRL hoodie off of IMB Racewear. We got actually some cool new merch coming, so shh, it's a secret. I'm not supposed to say, but we're gonna have some more stuff coming very soon as Welsh Maldonado heads off into the distance, and CJ Butch again not getting the start that he wanted, and Welsh Maldonado getting very, very good starts there against the Williams driver. And I don't know if it's just the timing or with that final corner, CJ Butch not able to get on the power quick enough. But Welsh Maldonado has done an excellent job at clearing that Williams and staying out of trouble there on the restarts. And further back in the grid there's been not too much shuffling, but that is a Stunek who's had a poor safety car restart, losing positions to F4 Energy and Monkey Mafia, now close to his teammate. And oh no, last time I saw these three names next to each other in the drivers positions, it did not end very well, and we're gonna stay on board here with Shilmo and Cozy. Oh, look at that, Hartman and Bacher going side by side here in the wet. What clean racing, as they're both giving each other room through the S's, and it's Bacher who comes out ahead. That was excellent excellent driving and excellent sportsmanship from the two, from the two, and yeah, getting through there okay, and in one piece, surprisingly, as now Bacher sets his sights on to the other Red Bull of Monkeys. Monkey Mafia getting overtaken by a Stunek, and down to the straight. Who is this? This is Bacher, or sorry, not Bacher, but Nick Potjäger down in P17, looking to make a move on Chris Narazuro. Bacher getting past ISRL Monkeys here down the straight. There's a lot of moving through the grid there. I think that's Azen going to go serve his drive-through in the pits. F1 Richie as well. That's going to promote Stunik up a few positions. And this is the battle. We're going to keep looking. Look how many cars there are close to each other on this restart. It's the Stunik from Monkey Mafia, from Cozy there for the battle for P6. And Chilmo right behind them. It's going to be interesting to see how Chilmo reacts to Joseph Cozy ahead. I'm sure Joseph Cozy's checking his mirrors more than once a corner, as it wasn't a pleasant experience between the AlphaTauri and Mercedes driver last week, and I think there's going to be at least a budding rivalry here that we're going to have to keep an eye out through the season. And one thing I'm noticing here is that I think this rain is there's still a lot of spray, but this rain is definitely getting lighter and lighter. We're starting to see some sun just peeking through the clouds there, and I think we're going to start seeing this transition into a dry period to end this Grand Prix, and now is where everything can break loose, as these guys are going to have to start thinking about strategic pit stops. And Cozy going a bit wide there, and that's going to open the door for Chill Mo to get a little bit closer. Not going for the move just yet is Chill Mo. He's waiting his time. He's got Maverick for company right behind him as well, so he doesn't want to get too eager in making his move. And of course, he knows Cozy isn't going to give him any room after his behavior last week, and their fight that they've had, and that I'm sure we've all heard of by now. Bumblebee says, time to purchase a hoodie. I guess you should. You should. You can get your number on there, on the back. You can get actually any image you want, to be fair. You can get your face or your little Bumblebee logo, too, if you want. Instead of the number, I can even make your little Bumblebee face with a number on it. You know? You can get whatever you want on there. It's 100% custom. Oh, and here goes Maverick on Chilmo. And is Maverick going to be able to squeeze it in? Oh, Chilmo not playing any games there on defense. He was entitled to that corner with Chilmo. He was the car ahead, but Maverick definitely getting a little bit of a scare there, as he saw that space disappear rather quickly. In the back, that's Bacher getting on the grass, and that's going to be Hartman and Nick Potjager having a bit of a scrap. But that looks like that's cooled off slightly. Going back up to the front here, Stunik is now chasing down ISRL X. We've seen the front pack separate just a little bit here from this bottom half of the top 10. And there's X kind of in the middle there. He's managed to break away from Stunik, and but not managed to catch up to Krago. And so he's still running quite well here in P5. And to follow up that P4 with a P5, I think X would be quite happy with that. So he's just got to keep the car pointed the right direction and keep setting in good lap times here. And Chill Mo here still working on Cozy. He's managed to break away a little bit from Maverick behind. And now he's set his sights on the AlphaTauri. And I'm going to stay on this battle here, because this one is a long time brewing. It's a long time coming. We actually have a yellow flag here. Is that Bacher, or is that Nick Potjager who's had a spin? And one of the two McLarens has had a moment here, and I think that is Bacher, who's had to rejoin a little bit awkwardly. And yeah, he's going to dive into the pits as he's suffered some front wing damage on the front right of that car. And that's another one here who's going to be forced to pit. That's going to give F1 Richie and Azen the position back. Azen doing a good job catching up already to Fallen Monkeys after that drive-through. And if there is a safety car, and actually, has it stopped? It has stopped raining here, and that's it. I thought it was going to come way later, but that safety car has definitely gifted us a lot more dry laps than we thought. While the track isn't dry enough for slicks, it's definitely stopped raining here, and we are going to see that mad dash for the pit stops now. And with lap 13, you could put a set of hards on until the end. I think, but they're going to be very hard to heat up here in the early laps of running on the slicks. Oh, and who is that ahead? That's the Stunik who's had a moment, and that's going to let Cozy by. He's going to let Chilmo get very close to him, and is the Stunik going to be able to fend off Chilmo as this drying track has proven quite tricky for some of these drivers. Bakker as well having a spin, and we're going to put our tire details up here, and Bakker on the mediums. I was wondering if he was going to go and gamble on the slicks here. He is going to try. Oh, look, that's another moment from Cozy. That's going to let Chilmo get by down the straight. But what that's done, Stunik, is that in his distress here, he's allowed Cozy to get ahead and far from Chilmo, so at least protecting his teammate. And I think there's some troubles here. There's some problems for Stunik. They're just not able to slow down that car. And as well for Cozy, what is happening to the AlphaTauri boys today? And they're going to pit. So everybody pitting here. Looks like the whole field is dove down into the pits. Stunik maybe just trying not to double stack. Is that why he was going a little bit slower? It's alright if you back up here on the racetrack. You don't want to back up the grid on your way into the pits. So, not doing anything wrong there. And yeah, the entire grid is going to be diving in for the pits. Looks like Welsh Maldonado opting for the hards to make it to the end of the race. And everybody else going for the mediums, at least down to Chilmo, who's in P7 there. And Chilmo has jumped Cozy, and he's jumped a Stunik in the pit stops. And that's a good pit stop from Chilmo, who's managed to jump both AlphaTauris, but now he's going to have to work hard to warm up those tires. As Nick Potjager having a look down the inside. That turns into the outside here around turn 3. With better traction is going to be the McLaren getting ahead of Chilmo, and now Chilmo is going to have to fight back here if he wants to stay ahead in P7, but with those hard tires, going to take a lot longer to get up to temperature. I don't think it's going to be much of a battle for Mo, but Mo can go to the end, so if he just plays it smart, doesn't battle too hard, he's not going to have to pit again. What's happened to the AlphaTauris? That's just a disastrous round of pit stops there for the Red Bull sister team. And Joseph Cozy and Stunik both running in the top 10. Now both barely clinging on to it for Cozy. Stunik way out of the top 10 in P15. And something's happened in that pit stop. They definitely got held up, or a penalty was served and sent both of them down the order. Crago looks like he's going to be getting rather close to Chris. We saw that rear end having a little drift there around the final corner and into turn 1 with that DRS open. Not able to catch up because of that moment that we saw, but Crago looking strong to make at least a case for himself for these podiums after his teammate has had some pretty rotten luck there with the drive-thrus. Aizen has timed his transition to the slicks quite well. He's all the way up into P12 already, despite the drive-through, and right on the back of some of this big battle here that we're seeing behind Chilmo. We're seeing Chilmo, Maverick, Hartman, Cozy, Aizen battling for 8th place right now. It's kind of two battles going on here, but they are in a big group, and that's F1 Richie right behind them looking to join in. And at this point, if you're in the medium tires, and you can try to maybe make them last 15 laps, see if you can get lucky and make it to the end. If you're on the hards, you can most definitely make it to the end, so you don't have to worry too much. I was at Chris Nerzuro having a spin there further back. That's not going to be good for his race. It is going to let him get by Stunik, who's, I think, yeah, he has picked up some damage because he's had to pit again. And Stunik down from 5th at some point in this race, down into 16th, so not the Grand Prix he wanted. That's going to be Aizen making a move on Cozy, as we saw Cozy having a moment on the exit, but Cozy's not willing to give this one up. And into the braking zone here, side by side. Nobody has the advantage. Cozy's going to go for the switchback as he takes a tighter line through the corner and gets good acceleration. They're still going to be side by side. And into the final corner, Aizen and Cozy. Cozy giving room, but not a whole lot. Aizen forced to slow down a little bit and cut some of that corner. Now he's going to have a chance to fight back against Cozy, but he's going to make contact with Cozy as he's not able to move to the right because F1 Richie's making a move as well. And F1 Richie getting past 2 cars in a single straight. And that's a good move for the Ferrari to get back into P11. I don't know if there's any damage for Aizen there after he hit the back of the AlphaTauri, but it looks alright. I don't think there's any harm between the 2 cars. F1 Richie just getting a great run and kind of boxing Aizen in there. Aizen having nowhere to go behind the slower Cozy, who, of course, the only one of those 3 who did not have DRS. And F1 Richie into P11, getting 2 moves on a single straightaway. Welsh Maldonado is, she's off to a good lead there, but CJ Butch has done a good job keeping close on the medium tires there. Only 1.9 seconds separates the two as actually she sets a 135.8 as her fastest lap. Immediately beaten by Craigo, though, who sets a 135.0 in the Ferrari. And Craigo's right on the back of Chris now. Oh, and Chilmo and Maverick are going at it into the hairpin, and we saw them switch around quite rapidly, and it's going to be Maverick ahead of Chilmo after making a move down the straight. Now Chilmo is going to have DRS. Is he going to be pushing for it? Let's open the telemetry, see what these guys are fighting with. Chilmo with a lot less ERS, but we're used to seeing that from the Mercedes driver. He doesn't go easy on his batteries. He loves to use every ounce of energy he has. And Chilmo not going to be making a move just yet. We're going to tune back into Craigo, who's getting ever so closer to Chris. And both of these guys working with quite a bit of energy. They've been good saving it so far. But Craigo definitely with the advantage here as they head down onto the straight. Bacher sets the fastest lap time with a 133.8 there. So he's down to the back of the grid, but he's in 15th, so he would still get the bonus point for it. Having a peak there is Craigo, but not close enough to make a move. There's another DRS zone coming up very soon, so you just got to get a good exit here out of this corner. And if you can just nail the turn in here, not lose any time, and get the DRS, you can make a good case for a move into turn 1. Yeah, I saw Mushroom. Who's Welsh Maldonado? It's Rentbo. She's just had a PSN change for this week. Or, well, for the season, I guess for the rest of the season. But she's your winner from last week. Craigo not able to make a move into turn 1, but that's not the best of overtaking opportunities here. But Chris doing a good job defending and setting some distance between him and the Ferrari. There's still a battle here going on between Maverick, Chilmo, and F1 Richie. Cozy is fallen a little bit further back from this one, but Chilmo is kind of sandwiched between 2 Ferrari motors there of the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari behind him, and all separated by just a second for the 3 cars. 6 tenths for Chilmo and 4 tenths, 3 tenths now for F1 Richie. Is F1 Richie going to pull a Daniel Ricciardo-like move here? No, he's not, as opts to not pull anything dangerous here with this many laps to go. There's a big pack of cars behind them as well, so it would not be the smartest decision for F1 Richie to make a move. It's going to cost him a lot of time if he does so. Oh, there's a lockup though from Maverick right ahead of them, and that's not going to open any doors. I thought it might have, but still recovering nicely on the mediums. But another lockup though, so maybe those mediums already starting to get worn on this heating track, on this track that's gaining grip very rapidly lap after lap. Craigo has actually now fallen outside of Chris's DRS range, so that move that we thought was going to come is going to take at least another while to get there. Some defensive moving there from Chilmo into the break zone. Actually, he outbreaks himself, goes very deep, and almost hits right into the back of Maverick. And that's going to open the door for F1 Richie, but Chilmo recovers nicely. Oh no! And F1 Richie runs into the back of him. It's Chilmo again. We've seen that time and time again. He defends and takes a bad line into the corner and is forced to just slam on his brakes. And again, the car behind just having nowhere to go but into the back of him. And that's F1 Richie with front wing damage, and that's something you got to be careful when you're fighting against Mo. He's gonna defend and compromise his line, but then slam on the brakes. It seems like, and we've seen it last week with the Stunik. We've seen it this week with F1 Richie, and we saw it in Russia as well. Now, F1 Richie is going to be compromised here as Cozy is going to be maybe having a go there, especially in these S's with the loss of downforce. And it's going to open the door right up for Joseph Cozy to make a move. And there he goes. Actually, that's going to be Aizen as well. So F1 Richie just losing a ton of positions here. That might be a pit stop coming up for the Ferrari, as Hartman is also going to be making a move. And now is Cozy going to be having a go at Chilmo. Hartman, and actually F1 Richie is not done battling against Hartman, and he's going to stay ahead. F1 Richie staying ahead of the Red Bull after fighting back into that heavy braking zone ahead of turn 12 and 13. And down the straight is going to be Richie still in P12. Monkey Mafia having a go against Nick Potjager, and look at that, how close they were into that corner. That's how you take a corner, battling without slamming on your brakes halfway on the apex. Yeah, it's going to be Nick Potjager ahead of Monkey Mafia. The Renault just not able to maximize the use of DRS there, but he's not losing his opportunity to fight yet. That's a good race for Monkey Mafia after a rather hard qualifying session, wasn't it? He's up 10 positions, qualifying P17 up into P7. Good race there for both of these guys. Further back, Cozy has closed the door up to Chilmo. He's in the DRS range now. And as mentioned before, there is no love lost between these two, and I expect... before that happens, I was going to say Cozy's going to have a go, but no, he's not. He's had a spin. And was Aizen involved in that, or did Cozy lose that on his own? But Cozy has had a spin, and now he's ahead of ISRL Monkeys for P12, as he almost loses again there with the warm tires. Now it's going to be Aizen who's going to have a go on Chilmo, and I'm sure Chilmo is quite relieved he's not going to have to fight Cozy, because that was not going to be an easy battle. Cozy and Monkeys are having a go. Monkeys taking advantage of the warmer tires there of the Alpha Tauri after that spin, not able to get as much acceleration out of the corner and getting an easy move. And Cozy trying to have a go into the braking zone, but nowhere close enough. He's just going to have to stick behind. Aizen's getting quite close to his teammate here. And are we going to see some action between the Maverick, Chilmo, and Aizen? Look at how close these three are. Riding on board here with Aizen as he's hunting these guys down. And better acceleration for the two ahead there coming out of turn 3. But in the braking zone, is Chilmo going to cost himself some time getting stuck behind Maverick? And it kind of looks like he has, as Aizen closes that gap right up ahead of the S's. And Chilmo, yeah, he's going to have to slow down a little bit there to avoid the aero wash from the Alfa Romeo ahead. Look at how much Aizen is closed up here, riding on board with him as well. Just see how this battle plays out from ground level, you could say. And down this straightaway, who's it going to be? Look, they're still so close. And with DRS, there's going to be some moving here. And watch the exit. You want to not lose any time, and Aizen's having a little bit of trouble doing that as those medium tires getting towards the end of their life, I think. And Chilmo, though, is going to have a go, and Chilmo made that look easy down the main straight. and getting easily past the Maverick. Aizen's going to have another go. Maverick's locking up quite a bit, though. And as he tries to get back at Chill Mo, that's just going to let the Mercedes dart off into the distance. And Aizen is now going to be trying his hand. Maybe Chill Mo can help his teammate out, just to drop the Alfa Romeo into Aizen's reach just a little bit more. But not going to be the case just yet. CJ Butch, though, is getting very close to Welsh Maldonado. Look at that. And within DRS range, now ahead of lap 22, the back straight, that is. And if there's a bad exit here, I think there was just a bad exit earlier, and that's what dropped CJ Butch so close. But because that gap is already 1.5 seconds and safe from the DRS, and I thought really that CJ Butch was going to have a go here. Aizen finally gets past the Maverick in the S's, and easy work there for the Mercedes. I think those tires just looking a little bit better, and Aizen right back to where he started in P9. And a race to forget for the AlphaTauris and the at least the McLaren and the Ferrari of F1 Rishi and Bacher. Monkeys and Hartman, I think these guys, P11, P12, I think these guys are going to be quite happy with a haul of points here for the Red Bull team if they can keep it up, because they did not have that luck in Austria, and it's a good follow-up effort there for the main Red Bull team. And down the straight, they don't want to be fighting too much, but they are giving each other some DRS assistance. Aizen still trying to chase down his teammate here. Let's take a look at our chats. So, Mushroom saying, okay, yeah, Rentbo or Welsh Maldonado smashing it again. Milan saying, having a little conversation there. And, oh yeah, they're just talking about Welsh Maldonado and how good she is apparently at this game with not as dominant of a victory as last week. CJ Butch only 1.2 seconds behind. But with those medium tires falling off towards the end of this Grand Prix, I think that might be the victory in the back there. But still a much, much closer Grand Prix today. We can see how close CJ Butch is chasing down the Haas of Welsh Maldonado. And Maldonado did win a race in, of course, that famous race in Barcelona 2012. It looks like Welsh Maldonado has at least double the race-winning abilities of the real one, as she's cruising very much towards what looks to be at least another podium, potentially another victory. But CJ Butch getting again within DRS range, and let's pull up our telemetry to see if maybe there's a lot of saving. And yeah, CJ Butch is pushing a little bit harder than Welsh Maldonado, but you kind of have to at this point if you're going to close up a gap. You have to push harder unless you're just beating them on raw pace. But with the Warner, the older, or not older, they are the same lap, these tires, same age these tires, but slightly more worn medium tires, you have to push quite hard. And down the straight, there's going to be DRS, but Welsh Maldonado is going to have quite a bit of ERS to fend off the Williams, and that's what we're seeing there, applying the overtake button, using it as a defensive button. And CJ Butch with the DRS still closing up rather quickly, not using any of his overtake there. We saw that battery, that red blinking light on the back of these cars. It's not a brake light, rather recharging, indicating that the battery's getting recharged, and just enjoying the DRS slipstream effect to close up the gap to Welsh Maldonado. And as we have 3 laps left, is CJ Butch going to be able to mount a challenge that results in a win? Is one of these two going to take a penalty that might gift the other one the win? There's still a whole lot of answers and even more questions in the last 3 laps and 7/10 separate our top two here, and this is a battle I think we're going to be tuning in for the end of this Grand Prix. Right behind them, the other podium position up for grabs as well, as Krago is getting quite close to Chris. Only 6/10 separate the battle for third, and ahead of them is Krishna Razuro and Bakker. I know these guys are almost a lap down. They aren't, though. They are still fighting for that 16th position. It's nice to see these two not giving up, though. Despite being out of the points, they're still having a go here, right ahead of our leaders. And so long as they move over when the black flags are waved, there's nothing wrong with that. They can fight all they want. I don't think they're going to be catching up to Stunek in that last point-paying position anyways. CJ Butch, 6/10, not able to close up there on this straightaway, but he is saving a little bit more of his ERS because you only need to make the move stick once. You only need to make it stick once, so long as you can stay ahead. It doesn't matter if you led 27 laps, is who crosses the line first. And CJ Butch is going to be trying to put that theory to a test. Is Welsh Maldonado going to be able to get another clean sweep of a race here? Or is CJ Butch going to mount a challenge and get a very late pass, half a second back here in the braking zone? And will these tires hold? Will the medium tires outlast the hards here in the dying laps of this Chinese Grand Prix? Through the S's, Welsh Maldonado taking a bit of a different line to CJ, opting for a little bit of a later entry. CJ just opting for the hugging the corner there, so maybe just wearing out his tires a tiny bit more, but slightly faster line. Through this last corner, Welsh Maldonado, I think she's struggling on these hards just a little bit, because we're seeing that rear end of the car wiggle just so slightly on acceleration down the main straight. We're half a second back there for CJ Butch. The DRS is going to open. No overtake being used. We're still saving it up. Welsh Maldonado is, however, she is using a lot of overtake to defend and getting a better turn in on the hairpin. That's going to come and play into her advantage down onto the start-finish straight, as she's going to be able to carry a little bit more speed into that corner. But CJ Butch is closing up again with that DRS, and into turn one. We have 2 laps to go here, lap 27 out of 28, and we're about to have a showdown for the win. We're going to have a showdown for third position. And who's it going to be? We don't even know what the podium order is going to be. And there's only 2 turns around this circuit to go. And CJ Butch, Maldonado, 3/10. We saw him having a peek there down the inside of Welsh Maldonado. Not close enough to be comfortable making it stick. You're going to have only about 3 or 4 other opportunities here. And if you don't get it done here, as Welsh Maldonado goes wide again into the S's. And towards the end of Sector 2 here, the gap is down to 4/10. And CJ Butch, I think those tires are going to last now. We can say that for sure, because if they weren't going to last, he would have pitted by now. And he's going to try to stick it to the end with these medium tires. CJ Butch coming out of this penultimate turn before the last straight. And still, look at that, 3/10 closer. He's within striking range now. Gonna open the DRS. This is when you use your battery. Getting very close. Welsh Maldonado defending to the inside. And it's gonna be CJ Butch for first position, going around the outside and getting better acceleration. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be CJ Butch into first place with only a lap and a bit to go. And it's now CJ Butch looking to defend now for the final lap, as he's looking to take his first victory here in ISRL Division 3. Is Welsh Maldonado going to have a go into turn 1? No. Is she going to have a go into turn 2? No again. CJ Butch holding steady here just ahead of the Haas. And are we going to blow the championship fight wide open? It looked like Welsh Maldonado's race from the first lap. She led every single lap so far, except for the start of lap 27 and maybe yet the end of lap 28. P8, and who is gonna be into the S's? CJ Butch is building that lead, and I don't think Welsh Maldonado is gonna have what it takes to catch up here. She needs to get the perfect third sector. And CJ Butch needs to make a mistake here. And CJ Butch with less ERS and not going to get DRS assistance here. So we might still have a go into the final corner and coming here into turn 13. You got to get a good exit. I've mentioned it before, and who's going to get the better exit here? Is Welsh Maldonado going to be able to catch up? Diving into CJ Butch's DRS slipstream, going to open the wing, use all of the overtake, and are we going to see a move from far back? No, not close enough. CJ Butch, is he going to hold on? Is he going to hold on to the end? It's so close between these two, 4/10. Don't take a penalty on the final corner, and Welsh Maldonado is going to go wide, and it's going to be CJ Butch coming home to win the Chinese Grand Prix. Welsh Maldonado P2, and Chris and Craigo are crossing the line very close to each other. They both got penalties. Who's it going to be? Chris taking home his first podium of the season. Craigo coming home P4, and what a finish we've had here in China. Nick Potjager going to be coming around now to round out the top 5. And wow, what a last couple of laps. CJ Butch and Welsh Maldonado giving us a thrilling finale and a battle for the win. Whew. Now that was what I call a Grand Prix, and to those who thought that Welsh Maldonado was going to go unchallenged, that is not the case, and what a finish we had. CJ Butch picking up the first W of the season. Welsh Maldonado another podium and a pole, and Chris able to round out the top 5. Monkeys finishing in P11. I just heard him complaining out there, and I don't know what for. I think maybe he thought he was going to catch up to Maverick or something. Chill Mo managed to hold off his teammate for the rest of this race and finishing P8. So yeah, there's some Monkey Mafia up 10 positions for this race. That's a good drive there from the Renault driver. And unfortunately, we lost 2 cars today. So wow, yeah, what a Grand Prix, and yeah, what a race. Some words of appreciation in the chat there for that move by CJ Butch at the end there, going around the outside of turn 15 and taking the lead away from Welsh Maldonado. Of course, I just in case you missed it earlier, that is Rent Boat 2 from last week. It is the same person, so she won last week and on the podium this week again. And as we're seeing the champagne flow here, it's going to be the end of the race. I'm going to try to get these guys in for the podium interviews. But CJ Butch, Welsh Maldonado, ISRL Chris is your podium. Craigo, Nick Potjager, P4, P5, Ix coming home P6 from P14. That's a great drive from the Alfa Romeo driver. Monkey Mafia up 10 positions into P7. Chill Mo, P13 to P8. Aizen starting P9, finishing P9. Maverick getting up into P15. Monkeys from P12 to P11, so he's gained positions. That's good for him. Cozy, not the race he wanted, down to into P12. F1 Richie, after that drive-through, not able to recover, finishing P13. Hartman, P14, getting into the points. Bacher, P15 for McLaren. And then Estunik starting 5th, but having some troubles throughout the race there, finishing P16 with Chris Narazzurro behind him in 17th. There are 2 DNFs, Durant and Bumblebee. But that was your Chinese Grand Prix, and pardon the screen interruption here as I just add our winners into the party. And just gotta go ahead and find them. So apologies for the slight delay here as we just get these guys in. Well, these 2 guys and Welsh Maldonado, of course. And And here we go. So, set the invites. Hopefully we can get some podium interviews here. We've got 2 out of 3. Let's just see if we can get our winner in quickly. But guys, as we wait for CJ Butch, just to give him a chance to enter. What a race! That was a thrilling Chinese Grand Prix. We had some rain at the start. We got some dry racing at the end. We got some safety cars. We got some drama. CJ Butch not in the party yet, so let's give a go with our second place finisher. Back in the comms booth party again after another podium, but with a different name this time. So Welsh Maldonado, well, congrats on the podium, and can you take us through that race and that battle with CJ Butch?
That was a bit manic. Yeah, me and rain do not go together. So when I saw the weather in qualifying, yeah, I wasn't happy. But yeah, congrats to Butch for the pace at the end. I went on hard instead of medium because I thought the mediums would have died at the end, but yeah, obviously not. But yeah, I'm a bit annoyed with that one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I thought for sure everybody who pitted for the mediums was going to have to pit again, and that's what I was expecting. And turns out that they did last to the end. So I guess if you would have done one thing different, would it have been that pit strategy?
No, 100%. Should have followed Jeff because Jeff told me to go mediums. I go, shall I? But yeah, it'll do. Next race, next week. But yeah, congrats on Butch for the for the pace.
Yeah, it's another good podium for you. So great start to the season, a win, a second place. I think last week I asked you how do you capitalize that into, or how do you carry that momentum to the race of the season? You've carried it into China. Next week it's Canada. Are you expecting similar results there?
I don't know. Track limit is that's all I think about Canada. But yeah, we'll find out. Have some practice, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well. Hopefully. I guess, yeah, that's basically it. We'll see when we get on track, huh? Yeah. And that was a good race for you. Congratulations on the podium there. And congratulations on, I guess, the Hall of Points and the great battle, because it gave us a beautiful spectacle to watch. Great. Yeah, I mean, it was. He came out on top, so I'm sure you would have wished that we didn't have such a battle. But in the end, still a good podium result for you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And Chris, you hear us?
Yep.
Yeah. So listen, third place. That wasn't the most eventful race for you. You were able to hold off Craigo there pretty well. And did you think at any point he was going to be able to pass you for third place?
We had clearly the same pace. He was faster in a couple of laps, but it wasn't really nice to see Ferrari the whole race. I wasn't sure about the pace in the rain, but I was able to gain a position at the start. I don't know, was it Becker in the McLaren, but yeah, I was keeping third place, so I'm really lucky. Top 5.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good start to the season because it's still early on, and so you want these kind of strong podium results early. And I asked the same question to Welsh Maldonado. Canada next week, of course, it's half your home track. I guess it is your home track for this game since we can't have Germany in here. Are you eyeballing a certain result? Are you aiming for the podium next week?
To be honest, Canada is a complete different circuit and really hard to say. It's gonna be up to penalties and how is your pace. You guys know my pace in Canada is never be the best, but yeah, let's see what's happened.
Well, I wish you luck in Canada. I mean, if the races that you're not as good at, that's why you got races like China, where you can capitalize on the points and hopefully compensate for potentially a bad result. But in today's race, I mean, it was kind of a busy race with safety cars and everything. And can you kind of take us through how you ended up getting into that third position?
I mean, consistency was a big deal today. So the track was drying off really quickly, faster than I expected, or my team expected, and then I could get into a decent pace to keep the Ferrari behind me, and I was actually trying to keep up with the front row, but then they started their own race, and I was focused to keep my tires alive and keep my racing point on third place. So I'm really happy to do it.
And it's with your teammate unfortunately having a DNF early in the race. No points for him for the Constructors' Championship. I know you two had some good aspirations to potentially get Racing Point the Constructors Division, Constructors Championship. Is that like how do you approach that now that you might be behind a couple teams in the standings?
I wouldn't say much about Constructor's situation right now because we have a really long season in front of us. Bumblebee or Alex got a bad start this week. I had a bad start last week, so I wouldn't think too much about Constructors right now because our pace is even if it comes to certain tracks, but I still seeing us in the top 5 for the moment.
Well, yeah, here's to hoping that we get more performances like the Russian preseason race where we saw both you towards the front of the field, but maybe a little bit less fighting this time. But either way, congratulations on the podium, and congratulations on the big haul of points as well. So a great race to both of you. Again, it's unfortunately we can get CJ Bush in here for winner's interview, but we got second and third, which is just as good. So we'll see you guys again in Canada. Thank you to everybody who's tuned into the stream, who's watched the Grand Prix. We're back live in 30 minutes with Division 2. So don't go too far. We got a lot of racing to do yet today, and hopefully some more exciting Chinese Grand Prix action. So thank you to everybody who tuned in, and we'll see you guys in just under half an hour.